Honorable, the General Assembly has convened today. The FIASA bids are taken. How important is the hosting rights going to the far eastern part of the country?
First of all, for me, I want to still continue saying that I congratulate those who have won the bids to host the coming national and then the FIASA games. Number two, it helps in terms of infrastructure development in the respective areas where the hosting rights have been given, and I can just confirm like now as a country, we got the hosting right to host the AFCON. We are busy working on the few areas of improvement in terms of infrastructure. That is also applicable to the other schools which are going to host the FIASA games. Of course, like you heard me say, I will want to be special emphasis to be given to areas which, in my considered opinion, have not been hosting, and I want to say this, there are regions of this country where I want to interest, and I've interested the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association to have this national competition in there so that we can help mobilize the young children, mobilize the parents, and the entire leaders in those respective areas to get involved in sports. And then, like I said, world over today, the highest paying jobs are sportsmen and women, and I want to re-emphasize that this is the time. And I commend what the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association is doing. They are extremely helping us to identify talent of our young children at the right time. With the coming in of the law now, it's going to take us to another level.
In your address, you have emphasized age cheating.
Yes.
What is in your plan to enforce this?
It's the law now to enforce, because before we used to talk, but there was no legal provision which was backing us up. But today we have the law. If first of all we have classified the categories of those children to compete in primary and those children to compete in secondary. So any school, and there's a penalty to that effect, any school, any teacher, and a child who is caught within or against the law will be punished really, because we want really to put this as a full stop measure to not to promote people who are over age to compete in different sports where they don't go. It kills the contents and the development of the sport in the country. And for me, I am extremely happy. What has been happening, you find in secondary schools competition, you find 30-year-old, 35-year-old competing. Imagine they kick a child. That is an adult versus a child. That child can get an injury which takes him out of the game for the rest of his life, and that ends his career. So we are beginning to say a no to this, and there's a specific law now for that. And I want to thank the President and the First Lady and Parliament for enacting this law. Thank you.
Honorable, there is an issue talked about boxing.
Yes.
Can you please enlighten on that? Because the Boxing Federation has always been crying to you to enable them to create an environment where they can be able to play. How do you want to address this issue?
That's why I have brought this up in this General Assembly, because I want to meet this leadership. True, as a ministry, as of now, boxing is suspended in all schools. Reasons are, in our considered opinion, we need to have the correct gears, the correct medical personnel, because boxing is not like any other sport. Boxing is about inflicting pain in these young children. And imagine, first of all, you get an adult who claims to be underage, is given to go into a ring with a young kid. With due respect, that adult can even be able to put out that kid out of action. Finally, we have the law which begins to regulate on the age. Second, we must now look at the infrastructure. Do we have the correct facility? Do we have these gears? Do we have medical personnel? When these children are competing or boxing, are they there to support them in the case of a knockout? What happens? Which parents would want to come and see that this kid has been killed, knocked dead in a boxing ring? Who is responsible for that? Is it the school? Is it the government? Or is it the Federation of Boxing? So I want to challenge. That's why I'm now challenging the leadership. Can we get time? Can we begin to discuss? Like it would have been told, because I've met very many people coming to my office. Before I was told there were specific schools where boxing was being practiced. What were they doing at that time? I was not at that time. So I'm beginning to get the knowledge now that I have this organized group of the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association. What do we do? So mine is a process of consultation to see how do we refine. Because it's also becoming a requirement by the World Olympics that the boxers must be able to speak English, French, some national languages which are allowed internationally. So now, if ours don't, what happens? We are the ones who lose out at this international competition. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me move. My journey is long.
Okay. Thank you. A couple.
Yes, as well.
Yeah.